My peoples, excuse me. Hey, a lot to tell you on this day here. Ooh, I was just getting over. I was sick. Ain't been sick in years, but I was sick, and it was a blessing. It's funny how you can find blessings in everything. But before we even go there, we're getting back to the book of Enoch. We're on the book of Enoch, the book of knowledge, the keys of Enoch. It is called the book of knowledge, Uewave. All right. We are at fire level 17. The key to all sacred scriptures found in our conscious time zone is I know that my Redeemer liveth. The Redeemer liveth. Basically saying that energy, that redemption energy is in you. Probably referring to the Kundalini, the activation which of puts you in the Christ-like state, that God consciousness. All right. But before we even go on, I know it's been a little bit. Like I said, I was sick, came back from it. I mean, I was dazzled how when you're sick, nothing matters. It's like, like you're going to die in 3 days. You know what I'm saying? You don't care about no television programs. You don't care about food. You don't care about nothing. And it was puzzling how, I was so far away from myself during that sickness, during that dis-ease. It kind of energizes. When I came back to self, I was like, woo, all my energy back. But I thought it was particularly strange because by consciousness, everything, couldn't think spiritual, nothing. In fact, it was just the worst that you could be, like, oh, I even felt trapped at certain points. But that's neither here nor there. We're moving on. We're going on to the book of Enoch. All right. So without further delay, this is the last chapter of the Father's universe. When I'm done with this chapter, I'm going to go back and read what the Father's universe was about so y'all can all get clearer understanding, or should I say understanding. All right. The key to all sacred scriptures found in our conscious time zone is I know that my Redeemer liveth. So it goes on. It says, one cannot think of coming to the Father without a redemptive energies of the Messiah, a plan for salvation revealed to man through his conscious time zones, that so that he can connect his godhood with the pluralistic God kingdoms of light. So remember, we were talking about the mind has to be open-ended. We were talking about how there's a lot of different agencies as far as what you can do when you leave the physical realm in the house of many mansions, or in the constellations, all right? So all these energies that determine what's going to happen to you next are already activated in you on how you use your love and light right here, right now. What you're going to do right here, right now will determine what your next station will be as far as how you were able to elongate the Father's universe, the Father's plan, the Father's spirit into other realms. All right, so let me keep going. Yet, even when man ascends to higher orders of creation, the scriptures of light, capital L, light, conscious light, given to the grand keys, reveal that the paradise sons, which will not be placed asunder. The Redeemer can only liveth in those who partake in an ongoing witness of the throne, which precedes every new immunization of the divine scripture. Thus, the keys, the scriptures of light, will be continued and will be placed within the scriptures of a new age, for they will be used in other worlds to train new realms of physical intelligence. So it's trying to tell you how everything is connected. Our realms are connected to higher realms. Our realms are connected to lower realms. And our example of how we used our love and light in this realm will be an example in other realms, because we're all connected. The key is given with the understanding of the germaterial body of light. The germaterial body of light is the 3 or 4 bodies of light that's wrapped around this one, what gives us a sight into the unseen. Our eyes can only see about 3% of the spectrum, of the 100% spectrum. You start putting on these bodies of light, it start activating your other eyes, your inner eyes, to see the full spectrum. Let me keep going. The key of giving it a dream that for every child of light works as a part of a gathering of sparks for the collective Messiah. All right. Because of this, every vehicle can look at its teaching vehicle of light redemption and say, I know that I am my Redeemer liveth. So it's saying when you get that spark, when you get that illumination, when you get that energy that comes from within that allows you to create, allows you to be better, allows you to see things that you did not see. That's all from a higher realm. And that's the redeemeth. That's the energy of redemption. This energy is a constantly evolving, constant energy that is always coming to you. All you have to do is pay attention to it. That's it. All right, let's keep going. Okay, in the 18th benedictions, that Enoch gives us as a definition of the collective messiahship working within the body of light, the body of conscious light within you, as your body of light evolves within the infinite way. So it's always trying to tell you that you're already infinite and eternal. It's already a part of what you have on the inside of you. All right. The vehicle of light as your overself has to descend and collect all your vehicle embodiments of all your thought forms during your life experience. Your your physical vehicle is not one cell, but millions of cellular vehicles working with different energy forms derived from uh, the surrounding kingdoms of light. Your own body universe functions as a part of a collective messiah through the material body of light on your inner body of light that continually being perfected by your Christ over self, the highest you, the energy that's beyond us, that's just sitting here checking on us. You can call it your guardian angel, whoever, whatever you want to call it, but that's the energy in you. That's why it says, I know if that my Redeemer liveth. Why? Because it's here, it's now, it's activated. These are the questions to the things that you haven't asked when you get these miracles and things. It ain't miracles, that's you, helping you. You just got to find which ancestor did it and invoke the energy again. If you invoke it once, you can invoke it again, even if you didn't know you were invoking it. These are all ancestor energies that are in us. All of it. Let me keep going. So, through the many levels of purification, you can absorb and purify all of the surrounding human dimensions into a dimension of higher light consciousness. Higher light consciousness. What are we talking about? Higher capital H, light, capital L, consciousness. So it's letting you know that there's realms of pure consciousness that don't necessarily need physical bodies or bodies to in our the way we look at about a body, a physical body. We don't necessarily need. Now it's all conscious light. That is the body. It's consciousness itself. All right. The faith of Israel is reborn to bring the Shama, the poor and the suffering of this world, to breathe the breath, the soul of the eternal love into their bodies. In the same manner, the closeness of the universe was felt when God breathed into man by feeling the feeling of life at the beginning of the consciousness of time. So it's already talking about, what is it saying? It's talking about there's a breath of life as an individual breath, but also a breath of life as time began to start, because there's parts of evolution and consciousness that don't work off of time. Time is irrelevant. Space is irrelevant. It's before these things. All right. Understand the Shema as the right vibration of truth, for it is the vibration behind all vibrations. When you hear it and understand that it is preparing you for the Father's voice, which is an active fulfillment of the Shema, bringing together all vibratory levels of creation through his power of redemptive healing, scientific wisdom, and spiritual liberation. These are all powers of the Shema, the spirit, the essence, the spirit of truth, the conscious voice whisperer of righteousness. Whatever you go, that part of you that's always telling you what's right and never fails. It's in you. Gift from the Father. Just in case you fall off and you go to the wrong realm or you get down here where we're at now, we're still going to keep these things active in you so that you know who you are. That's why you feel bad. That's why you feel depressed. That's how you feel bad after, remorseful. All these things are part of you to be the best you can be, because when you come off this realm, you will be pride and true. We can trust you as far as doing bigger things in greater universes. This is just to let you know that stop thinking fleshly only, this material realm only. This is not the only realm. If you close your eyes, there's a whole bunch more. But that's what they have programmed us for. But let me keep going. All thought forms are not necessarily on the right vibration. You need a higher Shema vibration to attune all thought forms to the teachings of the Beor, the sons of light, capital L light. Within the Kabbalah, the sacred vibration of the Shema is the utterance is uttered from for it to carry with it the collective wisdom of the masters to enable you to understand how your body can use thought forms of higher universe to be reunited with its higher light body of creation. When you act in a perfect harmony of light within all the kingdoms, within and without, you can function with the power of the Shema, this spiritual energy, to be able to speak the truth, hear the truth, speak the truth, say it. It has nothing to do with you knowing anymore because, well, it has everything to do with you knowing and not thinking, not believing. It's there. All you have to do is say it. You don't have to think about anything. All right. You seek to redeem all vibrations within your physical body by this key vibration, which is the cornerstone to the vibrations of your being. You should recognize that in every breath you are fulfilling God's function of the universe. You should realize that in every vibration you are continuing vibration, which can be tracked back to the first atomic evolutionary set upon this planet. Then you will conclude that there has been no separation between the original chemical scenario of light and no molecular division in the cosmic blueprint for the first members of the atomic race to man as this present age. What is it talking about? It gets pretty deep. It's just talking about how the first vibration when everything started is the same vibration right now that just has been manifested through thought. Your vibration. All the redemptive vibrations are within your physical body. All right. You start to realize that the vibrations that you recognize should realize that every vibration that you are continuing the vibration, which can be tracked back to the first atomic sentence, to the first us. All right. Mind you, it says the first atomic evolutionary set, because that was just another creation story of the many that are on this planet. All right, don't get it twisted in just the Adam and Eve. That was one creation story. One out of four in the Bible, in fact. All right, the faith of Israel is reborn to participate in the purpose of the human slide of life, not only in the continuation of the species, but in the continuation and the glorification of a species through the creative acts of love. This is why love is so important. Capital L love. To redeem yourself means to actually reprogram yourself. All right. Not for the benefit of the species, but for the spiritual liberation, working with all vibratory kingdoms of capital L light, wherever they may be found within an ever creating universe. Spiritual liberation is to go beyond the closed structures of religions of this world, which will ignore the pluralistic kingdoms and creations of light, capital L light. Those religions of the world have sanctioned authoritism and suppress the creative acts of the Holy Spirit as the false powers of the Antichrist, which will be overthrown. Here we go. I can't say it enough. It ain't me. I don't do this for me. I can see clearly. All right. This ain't for me, but I'm gonna read it again. To redeem yourself means to actually reprogram yourself for the spiritual liberation, working with all vibration kingdoms of capital L conscious light, wherever they may be found within the ever creating universe. So first you have to even open up your mind enough to know that there's other things going on, other thoughts that are being thought of, other realms of intelligence. When you do that, then you can have spiritual liberation, which is to go beyond the closed structure of religions of the world, which ignore the pluralistic kingdoms and the creations of light. Those religions of the world, which have sanctioned authoritarianism and suppressed the creative acts of the Holy Spirit, are the false powers of the Antichrist, which will be overthrown. We are the glorified species by recreating the species in other light dimensions. From how? Derived through the light of the Adam Cadman. The Adam Cadman is our body that we leave when we get out of here. That's what you would call your heaven. It's your spiritual body of light, and it's guaranteed. Guaranteed if you have 9 ether and your hair grows to the sun. Guaranteed. Heaven is your birthright. Regardless of what you do. All right? Let me keep going. So, Program Israel is the active encoding of consciousness, conscious light, upon every brain cell, life cell within the spiritual kingdom. This program is now being advanced to the program Victory, which is the return of the faithful to the Father's throne. Here we go again. Now we're talking about different stages, right? Different stages. So the first stage was the faith of Israel were reborn to experience all the suffering and the redemptions of human consciousness absorbed into all dimensions of the love creating process. That was one. Second phase. The faith of Israel will be born in the Shema. The poor and the suffering of this world will breathe the soul of the eternal love into their bodies. In the same manner, and closeness of the universe was felt when God breathed into man the feeling of life at the beginning of conscious time. All right, that was number 2. Number 3, one we just read. The faith of Israel is reborn to participate in the purpose of the human side of life. But in the continual glorification of the species through the creative acts of love. Then it goes on to redeem yourself, means to actually reprogram yourself. That's 3. These are all the faith of Israel. What was the next one? I just started reading. The faith of Israel. So the faith of Israel was reborn in the understanding of the Shema Israel, or Israel's the highest prayer, means reverence for the vibration of the eternal energy which stands behind the beginning of human existence and which unites the universes with all universes beyond this body of time. When you can understand how the vibrations of your conscious time zone connects to all those worlds previous, parallel to our own, and all worlds that are to come after, only then can you see the transformed creation truly redeem our race to become one with the Christ race consciousness, so that to participate in the many realms of experience, to redeem mankind simply by believing in the Lord of light or God is insignificant. Why? Because you're just believing in one thing or no. Belief has to go. You have to know. All right. To redeem mankind simply by believing in the Lord of light or in a God is insignificant for the to prepare man to go only from one isolation of thought form of life to another isolation of thought form of life. So you just trap from one master to the next because the only master should be you. And it should be an inner you that goes up and there's no ceiling. None. So if there's a ceiling, you're in the wrong stuff. No ceiling, and the ceiling is as high as you make it in you. All right. We must serve the living God which lives in all dimensions, even where the thought forms of other gods cannot dwell, for he is a God of all gods. We must see the movements of the life-giving process involved in every kingdom of intelligence, interrelated to the redemptive plurality of many universes. The Shema is the radiant call to faith which unites all of the faithful UAWAVE in all the universes. The solar hierarchies, the princes of the earth have prevented man from the solar hierarchies, and the princes of the earth have prevented man from being united with the faithful of all universe. They have refused to accept the karmic releases and have dedicated gross a gospel of hatred and obliviousness so that man has not responded to the Shema. For this reason, they are being removed from their regions of power. So that's 4. Now we're going into 5. What is 5? The faith of Israel is reborn in fulfilling the prophecy to see how the scientific scriptures from the radiation of the have been programmed from the radiation of the living light. To see how the prophets have issued the calendars of man and measured the sun and the stars by the wisdom of Solomon. To see each earth raised out of the depth of weights and the measures of the astrophysical horizons of Arcturus and Pleiades, so that her new prophets could be guided homeward, and the homelessness of this planet when this planet is experienced is desperate. At this time, the rebirth of the planet with the solar system will be placed around the immediate electromagnetic spectrum closer to the center of our universe in the sea of our eternal. So we're saying we're getting pushed towards the center, towards purification, all right, towards light illumination. This benediction tells us that we will understand how the human universe is both in terms of limitations of the sun's progression and the sun's birth and death pictured in the language of what is it? Einstein, and the true meaning of the limitless light revolved around the Ansum. That's the conscious light. Before we can go beyond our present threshold of creation. 6. Keep going. The faith of Israel is reborn in the love of the Messiah, the collective consciousness of the spiritual Israel, working redemptively throughout human history towards a liberation of the human form from spiritual and cultural bondage. Now that the fallen masters within the solar system have been removed, all administering councils in the local universe governing these decisions of the Council of 9, Council of 12, the Council of 24, the 144,000 ascended masters prepare for the earth as the Messiah, make a straight highway to the desert can be fulfilled now that the false hierarchies which control these grids are being removed and the grids are being reactivated. So now it's talking about how all this falsity, all these things that have been taking place and how they can hide the truth, all that shit's getting redone. They're getting cleared out from spiritual realms and slowly moving down to where we're at. All right. 7, the faith of Israel is reborn in the communication of life, the consciousness to consciousness, the illuminary of consciousness to the illuminary of consciousness. Now they're talking about an inner consciousness. How niggas just gonna start waking up. They're just gonna know. Because the communication lines are now gonna be restored. The elastic records will now be aspect. All your lives will now come back. We cannot understand the redemption of this physical galaxy, planetary world, or the biochemical body universe until we recognize how the illuminaries of the UAWAVE govern the higher evolutionary star kingdoms, which redeem the dust worlds of creation from star to star regions and astrophysical thresholds. So it's talking about all the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper, Pleiades. It's talking about Arcturus. These are all constellations. It's talking about Orion. All right. It's talking about Ceres, A, B. It's talking about all these things that are actually planetary spots where we come, where our spiritual essence is born. That's why the pyramids were directly under it. It showed a sophistication of interconnectedness with everything out there is interconnected with us. This is what they don't want us to know. Let me keep going. By by working with the many scriptures of the living light, you are led into a faith and an association with the many sons of light in the many universes of the Father. The four sacred letters, Yud Hey Wav Hey, are revealed that the living God is not simply a life force of one galactic kingdom or one star kingdom, but the mind of all universal intelligence, of all collective lordships and godships. The UAWAVE vibration sustains all the gods who come together to serve the living God who works his good pleasure through all the Elohims who control the thought forms of the infinite way. So there's a government going on. There's hierarchies. There's spots we're supposed to be vibing for right now, not here on earth, but out there, the next realm. We're supposed to be vibing for these next spots, but we've been duped. We've been told everything is right here, right now. None of this matters. This is the only thing that matters. That's why the Egyptians never had the Kemetic people never had an economic plan, because it wasn't never about money. It was about training your mind and understanding the principle. Let me keep going. 8, the faith of Israel is reborn and to recognize that the radiance of UAWAVE, the living light, has followed the people of Israel like a divine pattern of light for all men. The faith of Israel is reborn to see how the Lords of Light, as they are part of the spiritual job, the working on different levels of redemptive energy. The 8th benediction speaks of the coming together of the physical Israel of Moses and the spiritual Israel of Jesus following the great consciousness of the Shema to redeem the physical kingdom. So it's talking about different energies now coming together, different formats, because each religion would just represent a fragment of the 5, which need to come together as one. All right, your Egyptian, Sanskrit, Chinese, Tibetan, and I'm missing one. Hebrew, I think. But those will be the 5. All those languages come together to have a divine language. Everything is one thing. Everything we know have just been broken up. Fragments. And it takes the inner spirit in us to piece these things back together. Boy, they're giving out all the knowledge on this one. We ain't done. We said none. Now we're on number 9. The faith of Israel is reborn in the inspiration of the Psalms of David, the Bible within the Bible. The soul food is simply stories by which one is able to feel the presence of the Creator, even while speaking with a friend, even if that friend is as a little child. So it's talking to you now on how you can phrase things, and the energy in your words will convey the story of what needs to be said, more or less, not your words themselves, but the energy that you have powered them to create them, because now you're using a higher spiritual format. All right. The Torah Or is a program given from the higher heavens to unify all levels of mathematical, physiological, biological, astronomical, cosmological truths necessary to encode the consciousness into the consciousness of light, necessary to encode our consciousness into the consciousness of light. This light is that infinite and eternal, that everlasting, what you want to call heaven. You can have it right now. You ain't got to wait. Once our consciousness is encoded into the consciousness of the light, capital L conscious light, it then goes into the focal point of the eye of higher creation, the pyramidal capstones of conscious light, through the Alpha and Omega into the new Alpha and Omega of conscious light. Through this, the Torah or the spiritual Israel functions as a living biochemical capstone, which is the gathering of all the sparks of creation into the image of the Creator. The higher light image, beyond solar radiation and death and decay and entropy, into centropy. Now we're on to number 10. 10. The faith of Israel is reborn in the personal commitment to the living light as revealed through his prophets in every age, in every eye which sees into the world to come. Both the ascension of the chariot and the ascension of the chariot and the descension into hell. The faith of Israel is reborn is to behold the first fire Sama, which has been the source of all prophetic food, so that all who seek the truth recognize out of their own mouths that Uawave's kingdom is the moving arc of light through generation to generation as salvation to those who would perish in a covenant of light from universe to universe. Your personal faith is redeemed through their divine thought forms, which reveal to you how the Father's plan your soul to pass through the energy phases of creation through which the soul experiences the hyperspace harmonies of creation. Therefore, you will have thought forms of redemptive projection. This is to recognize that your spiritual being is pulsated and projected from your body into a redemptive, but the light consciousness, into a redemptive, even though it is not your body that is projecting it, but the conscious light, the light consciousness of the Christ working within you, the Christ energy within you, the Kundalini energy working, the 5 bodies of light. Through this personal faith, Spirit bears witness with the Holy Spirit that all manners of spiritual activity are being prepared to co-reign with the Christ consciousness. Can't make this stuff up. This is all part of your destiny. Can't make this stuff up. This is all part of this long journey through the flesh. These are the things we're supposed to know. These are the things we're supposed to be hitting on. Next level. Nothing to do with hell. Nothing to do with heaven. It has the only thing to do with you knowing why they got you believing in things. Belief is doubt. You can't believe and know something at the same time. It's impossible. You know you have a mother and father. You don't believe you have a mother. You know that. Or you had one. It's not a belief. So as long as they can keep you believing, they can keep you 100% wrong. Because belief will get you killed. Facts. Number 11. We're keeping going here. The faith of Israel reborn in the survival of Yahweh's scripture. The faith of Israel, the faith of Israel was reborn in her scriptures, which are built up out of the life-giving energy words, which shine as a glory of light-giving energy onto the mind of man from one membrane expansion to the next membrane of creative language. So it's talking about now the different scriptures. Now, this ain't talking about, what is this? Jehovah's. This ain't talking about the Jehovah Witness. Nothing to do with them. All they did is steal the stuff. They steal the names. They steal the name Christ and make it their own. They steal the name Jehovah and make it their own. Metatron, Melchizedek, they steal these names and put their own notorious stuff on them so that they can control people with they're trying to use the energy. All right, I give it to you free. So when you hear these names, don't automatically place it back with a religion. This is beyond religion, what we talking about. All right, this is to break the holds of religion. This is to show you where they got their stuff from and how they manipulated it. This is how they make their Star Wars, their Star Trek, and all that. But they don't talk about realms of peace and love and have no issues that are still flourishing and growing up where they can't even have a motion picture that shows a universe that ain't got no conflict. And niggas ain't fighting and killing each other over something because they can't see it. Hopefully you can. Let's keep going. These are the scriptures of light that are given directly from the teachers of the throne that tell of how higher star relations have crossed the time zones of physical destruction and how we too must cross the conscious time zone to be coded with a larger geometry of light. And within these scriptures of light is the blueprint for the encoding of light. Once you can encode on light, you can make your own conscious entities. This is our energy. This is our power. We're down here to learn about creation so we can go back up and create it. Universes, galaxies, solar systems, Earth-like planets. Earth-like planets that have one sun, so they go through entropy. Earth-like planets that have dual suns, not suns of yellow, but suns of blue, conscious energy. Light with no heat. That's where we from. That's Orion, the blue sun system. They ain't gonna tell you that. Light with no heat. All conscious energy. Can't make this stuff up. I can only break it down to you. Hopefully you can hear me. Here we go. Number 12, the faith of Israel was reborn in the humbleness before the great wisdom of the Torah, or those of the tree of life forms from the preparations from the Kabbalah, the wisdom of the many universes which surrounds us. So if you start getting into Kabbalah, the lightning flash, the Medu Netter, when it's breaking down the tree of life and how things actually came from, that's where they stole most of the Bible from. That's where they took the concepts from. The Gnostic scriptures, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Book of Knowledge, Keys of Enoch. That's where they stole it from. So we got all the ideas. All of it. Let's keep going. Knowledge of the redemption, then the humbleness before the Lords of Light, the Lords of the office of the Christ energy will give you the ability to redeem many kingdoms of light as you work within them, because each kingdom of light has its own redemptive mechanisms. There are many paradigms of redemption for the various thought forms that have to be balanced, recycled, and remade. This is why Jesus appeared on the Mount of Transformation, for transformation. I know it ain't transformation. I'm sorry. Transfiguration with Moses on one side and Elijah on the other. It's a collective transfiguration. Shows that Jesus does not work by himself. Himself. Once again, these are all redemptive energies. Each energy must work with its predecessor, Moses and Elijah. All of those religions were supposed to be one thing, stepping stones from Moses to Christian to Elijah. And then past that, because you're done with that. Those are stories and represented the things that were in you. Has nothing to do with real people. But let me keep going. The collective transfiguration shows how Jesus did not work by himself, but with the Paradise Trinity. Moses gives man the Torah, the star codes which he received from the living light of the Father. Elijah demonstrates the oneness of the vehicle of light, conscious light, which attaches to our physical universe and to other universes of the Father. Jesus showed how the body of flesh can be transfigured out of love of the Father and one's fellow man through the Christ body of light can come down and be anointed your physical form. So it's showing how the Trinity, everything's a Trinity. No one down here works on our own. We must have our spiritual family, whoever that may be. All right. So, and this is, with me, I have a bunch of them. I have, my boy Jazzy. I have Miss Visa. I mean, I have, my girl. Oh, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. Miss Desi. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just all of us are on the same wavelength, no matter what's going on. I think we're all trying to get to that next level. But this right here, this that what you need. That next level. Clear up all the Bible stuff, clear up all that with this book. Because once you read this, you can go back and interpret. It has all the scriptures of the Bible in it. In the back, all you got to do is, oh, well, that's what that meant. Oh, well, that's because it's a full breakdown. But let me keep going. Number 13, the faith of Israel was reborn in the far-reaching glories of the Kabbalah, which only the chosen of the chosen are allowed to see. The Kabbalah is a revelation of how our universe is governed by the glories, still yet another universe whose scientific truths are given in every age so that the species on this planet can find its resurrection into the higher evolution of life from the living revelation of the Uawave sacred name. So here we go again. It's talking about this mental, spiritual, soul communication, things that are happening on the inside that give us true sight, that are real, allow us to know without thinking. Instant transmission. The Kabbalah, the Metunetter, must have books. You got it, Kabbalah. What is it? Kabballah. Kabbalah. Find it, study it. It'll break down the Bible. When they said in the beginning was the word, what was there before the word? What was there before God said, and let there be light? What was there before the light? Those are two different creation stories. Adam and Eve, that's another one. Wiping the whole planet, that's another one. With Noah, or should I say Nephesestum. Probably said his name right, but that's where they stole the story from. Gilgamesh and Nephesestum. I said his name wrong, but it means Moses. That's where they stole it from. All the truth is right here for y'all. Let me keep going. So we already talked about the Kabbalah. Okay. The Kabbalah explains how the Messiah must work with all the brotherhoods of light or suffer to serve the illusion of space and time. What is this illusion of space and time? This is the illusion that we're under. 85% of the people are under, 90%. Looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good. That what you see out here is really happening. It's an illusion. It doesn't exist. It's only a projection of your own mind. No matter what it is, you have the power to overcome it. You have the power to change it. I'll say it again. The Kabbalah explains how the Messiah must work. The Messiah is you. This ain't Jesus. No, this is you. You now are the new Messiah. We are the new Messiah. You. The energy is in you. How the Messiahs must work with all the brotherhoods of light. Capital L, conscious light. Capital L, conscious love. Or suffer to serve the illusion of space and time. Just let that sink in. In a larger program of redemption, it must be realized that space and time do not exist. The story of the Messiah is the coming together of the higher evolution with the Christ consciousness, the human evolution within the time frame of how consciousness is crucified to the flesh at the point of birth incarnation and redeemed through the collective messiahship of the Father on all levels of experience. In essence, the Messiah cannot give certain knowledge of the inner kingdoms of the Shekinah, the mother's universe, and mother's wisdom without the proper Orpheum, Seraphim, and Cherubim intelligences preparing to fully evolve these life seeds through the many physical mutations. Therefore, at the beginning of each new cycle of creation, a greater plan is required to reset the motion once again. This is your incarnations. This is why we came down here. This is why there was 700 million of you sperm cells trying to get into one egg. This is how important this is down here, because the way that we can learn and progress, but we cannot leave until we finish the job. That's why it says that stuckness, that we need redemption. We're on a level of what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good, and it controls people. It makes them eat toxic food. It makes them believe shit that they know is not true. This is the redemptive energy. These are the powers of it. These are the gifts of the spirit. They're being poured right now, man. Put your umbrellas down. Soak it up. All right, let's keep going. I mean, this last one from the Father, this last key has all the rest of the keys in it, showing you why it's so important, how we have to build up to where we're at. Build up to where we're at. All right. Key 14. The faith of Israel is reborn in the outpouring of the gifts of the Spirit, the gifts of creation, the gifts of discovery, scientific prophecy, healing, speaking in tongues, translating the word of God into the newness of every generation. What I'm doing right now. We're getting an uptake. We're getting a reprieve. We're getting a view. We're getting a better understanding of what really is going on. Vital. Vital. Must have. For these reasons, the gifts of the true spiritual Israel have been brought together. Spiritual humanity operating on all 27, 24 levels of conscious awakening, doing the work of the light of the masters to redeem and heal the world through the wisdom of light and love. And where we touch, even there can, and where they touch, even there one can feel the pulsating redemptive newness of the universe. Where even they speak, one can feel the wisdom of the many kingdoms of eternity that are available through the experience of birth and rebirth. It is true that the people of light will recognize the higher intelligence and the living light of the mind of Uawave, so that even the righteous vibrations of the word of God can be openly taught. The inner body of the Germateria intelligence seizes the Torah of light through the outer physical shell and takes it in as its own. So the highest us starts to adopt us. As we take these steps to the spirit starts taking these continual steps towards us. If I take 2 steps to the spirit and the spirit takes 1 step towards me, that's 3 steps. 3 steps of energy, 3 steps of power. And it's trying to show why we're taking these steps. What is going on? Why shit is so confusing? I'm just a whisper in the dark until you replay it, until you share it, until you let everybody know what's happening and what's really going on. All right. All right. Let's keep going. It ain't over. And if you are to become one of the people of light, you must recognize that the the power of the Father's creation, and is not locked up in an ethnic group or in any historical program or any physical form, being Hebrew, Buddhist, Christ, in terms of your outer vehicle. Only when you have broken through the outer chemical shell and seized the word of the creator within the body of light and pulled it within can you hear the inner consciousness being coded into light. Can you hear the inner words of truth being coded into light through you? You're hearing it because you want to know. And the truth you're getting to is the truth setting others free, because now this truth makes light. So when you have the truth, you now have the light. You are one with Christ. You now have the Christ energy, the Kundalini energy. That's all part of you now. You become the redemption. Every word you say out your mouth, every look. But only when you function at these high levels of spiritual aspiration, high levels of spiritual consciousness. 15, we're not done. The faith of Israel is reborn in the experience of seeing the light of Uawave and the experience of being transfigured in that light into in a dimension of time beyond historic time. The faith of Israel reborn is to know that the Holy of Holies does exist for all mental space time to know. Human mind can enter for a period of time in which it can be revealed to you that you are a part of a higher love, conscious L love, bringing the light to the physical kingdom of matter. You are to recognize that your mind forms as a filament or a template membrane for a direct encoding of the fire letters and the wisdom of light upon the membrane circuits. For you are the biotransducer system for higher intelligence to indwell within you. Okay? This isn't obsession. This is what is it? Obsession and obsession and possession. All right? Totally different. Hold on, I got a guess. It's Jazzy. What's good, Jazzy?
What's up, bro?
Oh
You know,
man, we
still,
way down the road.
I just came to tune in because I seen the thing. You know, I wasn't still not feeling well. You breaking up?
As a fizzo on, they try to
Can you
kick
hear me?
me up. I hear you now. Before you start, let me just finish this last bit. All right, so the 16th, every head bowed and every knee bent to recognize that the Lord God of hosts is Yahweh Wave. This is the time when the righteous will experience on a cosmic plane the drama of Israel's exodus out of Israel's exodus out of Egypt, which is a model for light exodus off the planet into the next ordering of creation. The physical Israel as the land of Jacob, and the spiritual Israel as the land of Joseph marks the major meridians that will be involved in the conscious alignment, beginning with the shift from the Middle East to the Middle West, the sacred planetary region of the ancients of days, commencing with the great geophysical changes like what happened in 1976. The people of the earth will be who have chosen between serving physical Jerusalem or spiritual liberation provided by the heavenly Jerusalem will become to set man free from the earth and its three-dimensional boundaries. All right, that was number 16. Number 17, the faith of Israel is reborn in the faith of the living God extended to all human manifestations of love throughout his history. And it is in the mind of the living God, which is infinite. So this benediction is explaining how even the God form of creation are sub-kingdoms of the universal mind. Yet the lords of light who reside in in this great, awesome magistry of the universal mind will take leave from the throne because of the overwhelming power that residing too long in the Father's presence. They depart for other worlds where they can extend the grace and the infinite patience in the cycles of space and time. This is creation. This is universes. This is galaxies. This is solar system. And these star programs of creation are carefully watched and harvested in due season. All right. Number 18, the last one. The faith of Israel is reborn in I am that I am. The highest expression you as a mortal being can give yourself at the point of your first rebirth and your last amen. So as long as we're in the physical, the highest we can be is that I am that I am. I am higher evolution functioning in lower evolution. I am high spiritual energy focusing in the physical body. That I am that I am. The highest me and the lowest me coincide. All right. I am the Alpha and the beginning and end. To receive the anointing of light of Michael, Uriel, Gabriel, Raphael, the collective pillars of light. The foot of the Lord has been placed on the earth, and the benedictions have been offered up so that the first supper of all the masters of UA high command awaits you. Come. Boom. Woo! So I thought that was the last one. Oh, there's one more? Oh, there is one more. What's up, Jazzy Fizzle?
Hey, bro, what's good? I'm
Oh,
still
man.
still trying to get over this flu. It's crazy. Now
Bro,
my baby
everyone has been
she
sick. Not just you.
now now my baby sick.
It's going through everyone.
Oh
I
my
didn't take the
God.
vaccine, so
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
me
So
either.
I'm saying it might be a spiritual thing because Lord knows, bro, I got sick and I started to do the scientist for some reason. Not while I was sick, but once I got over it, once I started getting better,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe that all my energy, all my spirit, I didn't think spirit. I ain't give a damn about television. I ain't care about eating. I ain't care about nothing but getting right.
Yeah,
And I was investigating how it cut off all of my spiritual aspects. Cut that shit right off, nigga.
nigga, you
I
be
was thinking I
crawled up
was
in a fetal
alone.
position.
You know what
Yo.
I'm
Yo, yo, I, hey, and I never get sick. I told my dad was like, man, he's like, you never get sick, He's like, it's been years since he said, I'm surprised that I just heard. And he's like, I'm surprised to even hear that because I never get sick. But man, I tell you, it's, what killed me, what bothers me about the whole thing is this all could have been avoided too. Um, the barbershop where my son worked at, all the niggas in there, they don't want to miss a day of work because they don't get paid. So they all in there hooping and coughing and everything. So I go in there on Friday, and then my son is like, Dad, he's like, no, I go Saturday. He's like, Dad, he's like, man, he said, I'm feeling so bad. I feel, and I was like, well, I can cut, he already started, you know, shaving me up and stuff. He had on gloves and everything, but still, he was. So
uh,
after he finished, I took him down to the little health spot to go get he said, I need a ginger shot, all of this. They make this hot toddy out of all natural stuff at the health store down the street. So I took him there, and it was snowing real bad, because I didn't want him to walk down there. So I was like, I'll drive you. So I went, dropped him back home, and then I had already started making elderberry because he told me he was starting not to feel good. But when I got to the shop and everybody coughing and stuff, I'm like, yo, what the, you know, uh, you should not even come into work. You know what I'm saying? So my son got sick. He's like, Dad, this person had an ear infection. Our whole side. The only people that's not sick is working on the other side because it just went down the line. And then my
right.
son got sick. So then when I come home after that, and then the next day I'm sleeping like crazy. I just was so tired. I already knew that I was. You know what? It's kind of my
Shoot.
fault too because my immune system was down because of all of the overtime. I felt my body going
It was a
ahead.
perfect time for it to hit you.
I was just saying that I'm not going to work the weekend
I
anyways,
think
and
it was bigger than that though, Jazzy, because a lot of people, all it seemed like everybody got sick at the same time.
mm,
They were around the same period.
yeah.
And
And
you
then
know
he
me, I
got
do the same like you. I don't really eat that much. I make sure I have my minerals and stuff like that. All that.
today is my first day having a bite to eat. I was trying to eat all the other days. I just had a slice of pizza just now. First
Mm.
day in like 3 or 4 days.
Oh, I'm starting. I'm probably like 98%, but I don't cough. I don't have anything. I'm actually back. But what killed me was when I was down, I was like, whoa, I was trying to think spiritual and couldn't, Jazzy. And you know what my spirit said once I got over it? That's how people feel. That's how other people feel when we be talking to them. It's like they sick, Jazzy. They can't even hear us.
Mm,
Think about when you sick.
mm.
I mean, it's almost like dying, and everything else is irrelevant.
Yo, and I tell you, the hot, the cold, the headaches, the chills,
The
all of that,
lack of breath control, you can't breathe. Not
none of
good.
that. So
Mm,
yeah, the one thing though, I when I slept for like every 2 hours. I kept waking up, and it seemed like I was asleep for all day. For those 2 hours, I wake up like every 2 hours, and
I
then I'm
told
just
you
like,
I got you beat. I was taking all my minerals. I was taking all my ginger root and purifying juices. Bro, one night I swear I woke up hour, every hour.
it's
And
like
every time I
clockwork.
like clock, but this is my problem.
Yeah,
Every few hours I'd wake up I'm drenched. I mean,
Yeah,
drenched.
yeah. That's
Changed
how
my
I
clothes
was.
once. I changed my clothes 4 times that night.
Yeah,
4 times.
yeah, yeah. The
And they
same
were
thing happened
drenched.
here.
It wasn't no little wet. They were
Hmm.
drenched. But that was I like that because that shows that the spirit. I got through this whole thing with no over the counter medicine.
Yeah, I didn't do any either.
None.
You know, all I did was drink fluids. You know what I mean? And I
Mm-hmm.
had made some herbal tea. I got elderberry, so I drank a
Mm-hmm.
little. But I really didn't get up, but just to use the bathroom and come back and lay down. And
You
I
better
and
than
it,
me.
and
I
it,
couldn't even sleep.
I couldn't get up. When I tried to get up, I was so weak, and then
Yeah.
I was cold because I sweated so much, and then so I'm going to the
That's what
bathroom and
got me, Jazzy. All my energy, my high spiritual energy that I was so accustomed to having gone, made me
mm,
appreciate that shit.
mm,
Just the energy. My wife said, "Oh, bro, something ain't right with you." I was like, "What are you talking about? You ain't said a word. I ain't even
yeah,
thinking about seeing nothing. Can't watch a movie, nothing. Don't want to watch a movie, nothing. I want to do nothing.
nothing.
I
I know the
want this
feeling,
away
bro.
from me. Is what I want."
Yeah, yeah. But the one thing though, like every 2 hours when I wake up, I do have like a spiritual sign though. Like I told you, I was seeing like a little avatar in the like where my peak, right in the center of my forehead. I seen it like a little avatar, and it lit up with different, like if it was green, if it was
Wow,
yellow. Yeah,
better
I
than me. I
still,
ain't even nothing. I got that
yeah,
hurt. That's what I got.
I got it too, but
I
it
didn't get
was,
I didn't get anything spiritual until I started coming out of it. Because as soon as I started coming out of it, the spirit was like, "Hey, nigga, where you been?" No, real talk, Jazzy. I swear to God,
mm,
I can't make this shit up. "Hey, nigga, where you been?" I go,
mm.
"Oh, thank you. I'm getting better." Oh my God, I thought y'all never come back. Thank you. Whoo, that's when you know a nigga crazy. I
Yeah.
couldn't even talk to myself, Jazzy, that I have been
Mm,
accustomed to doing on the regular.
yeah.
The communication was gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
only
didn't like
had
that
that's the
feeling.
only time
I didn't like
that's
that
the only
feeling. I did
that's the
not
only
like
thing
that
that I
feeling.
had. That's the only thing I had. Other than that,
Mhm.
I ain't think about nothing. Yo, when
My
I tell
shit
you
was
nothing,
my
I
shit
was
was
just like,
gone, Jazz.
yeah.
Gone.
Mm.
I sat there for a minute and I felt isolated and alone. And I never feel isolated and alone.
I felt that way too. But
Isolated.
I
Oh,
also
can't go nowhere. I can't do nothing. I'm dying.
but you know
Get out.
what? I said to myself while it was happening, I was like, I don't give a fuck about nothing but getting better. I
That's it.
mean nothing else. I didn't think about
Nothing
nothing.
mattered.
I ain't think about work. I ain't think about,
Didn't
going
care.
nowhere.
Nope.
Nothing. I was just
Food,
like,
nothing. Only thing I
yeah,
took was stuff to get me better. I need to get better. I need more juice. Need more water.
yeah,
Let me go out
yeah,
and make this tea. Let me do
yeah.
this. Let me do that. That's the only thing I was worried about. You right. Being other than myself was very alienating. But think
Hey,
about it, Jazzy. It puts the energy back. Now you know what it. I always say. Now I see how others feel. Because if they
mm,
feel like that on the regular,
mm,
now mind you, I'm making a
mhm,
comparison, just a similarity, like a metaphor. Like wow, that's how they don't have that contact with the spirit. No wonder they angry all the time.
mm,
No wonder they mad, resentful, hateful. I
mm.
see why. I'd be like that too if I felt like that.
That's the only thing that kept me sane though, was that little avatar like I seen in the
Mhm.
little thing in my, because every time I get up and then I'm thinking about something, then it just light up in different spots and stuff, and I was just like, oh shit, thank you, you know.
Better than
But
me.
other than that, I didn't think about shit, man. I was just like,
Mm-mm.
yo,
Nigga, I
I
just
mean,
went down, down, down until I hit the bottom. It was like, oh my God, this is how you got to forsake me. Still nothing.
but you know what
And
would
then,
be
well,
dope
no,
though?
I take it back. I take it back. The spirit said, endure.
Mm.
That's all I got. Endure, nigga.
Yeah, but when I text you, you was like, do lessons and blessings.
Yes, endure. Because when I started coming out, I started counting my blessings, nigga. I kept counting them.
Mm.
Because
Yeah.
now you got to remember, once you come back on the other side of sickness, especially since I started to appreciate my actual conscious level, the energy that I'm vibrating at, my frequency.
Mm.
So when it came back, shit started coming back with it
Mm.
because I was recognizing.
You know what? Something just hit me, mental. Just think about being able to go at will to that place like that with meditation.
Use a sly one. So let me tell you the story. So my brother's here, and we were
Mm-hmm.
sitting there talking, and he's into the spirit also. He's making his way through, doing what he got to do. So he was
Mm-hmm.
telling me, think of this, Jazzy. He said, so he thought he was at his lowest point. It wasn't like financially low, just just not knowing what the fuck next to do, what's going on. You know what I'm saying? This nigga said the spirit came down and dwelled with him for like 2 fucking weeks. He didn't ask any questions. He didn't need any answers. He just walked around knowing everything. I said, for how long? This nigga 2 weeks.
That's what's up.
I said, get the fuck out of here.
Whoa.
I said, so then? Then he looked at me and was like, yes, I do. And I was like, you see what I'm saying? You know the look, Jazzy.
Yeah.
Like, see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All this time, thought a nigga was crazy.
Uh-huh.
But and I said, bro, do you know the blessing of being able to walk in the spirit? And guess what brought him out the spirit? He had sex.
Mm.
After he had sex, when he orgasmed, spirit gone. Well, that feeling or that oneness gone. That knowingness, I said, you can access that shit anytime you want. In fact, since he told me that, this is why I was saying back what you were just saying, imagine if you could activate it. Bro, where was I at? I think I was in the grocery store. And it was one of those, before Christmas, this shit gonna be packed. But some was like, nope, you know something? I'm gonna do what my brother did. I'm gonna activate my spirit and just be in my spirit the whole time. Had this boom spirit. Swear to God, Jazzy, it worked.
Mm.
It was almost like no one was around me but me. But everyone was around me.
Mm.
Everything I went to was right and proper. Everything was good. Dude needed help putting something on the thing. I just happened to be there. You go, bro. I got you. Went to the line. The lines are long. I just happened to get in a little line. Perfect timing. Everything just works out for everything. I mean, I was sitting up here like, wow. Then I'm going to the parking lot, put my stuff up, putting my bin back. The same dude that needed help, he had a pool or something that was off, and it was just him. He couldn't get it into the car. I just happened to be there again. Here you go, bro. Got the shit into a car. He just looked at me and was like, damn, bro, that's twice. Thanks, man. Bro, that's just how the spirit worked. Obviously, spirit wanted me to look out for you.
Right. Hey, you know what? Just being able to go ahead and be in that zone, like, because I'm still now, trying to get better. But I'm just saying, well, I am better. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. Is I am better.
Recognize as your energies return and see what's returning with it. I'm starting to realize the sickness is probably one of the best blessings ever. Because on the flip side of it, there's a lot more energy that you have now that you didn't have when you were sick. That's the whole point.
Just think, it put my mind at ease. I didn't, like I said, about bills, about anything.
Right.
I didn't think about
nothing. Don't matter. It'll get taken care of.
That's how I want to, when I go into my meditation. That's what I was saying. If I can get into that state like that, and then
you want to get into it while you're conscious, though. You want it to be a waking state.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just like it's like the dream. When you could go ahead and, hey, I'm in my dream. I can go ahead, I can move around. Okay, I can function, I can do this through my dream.
You know what it kind of feels like? Like your whole body is covered in a golden yellow light. You're just kind of floating. You ain't even walking. You kind of moving. I was like, wow. I said, shit, I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna do nothing. I ain't thinking nothing. I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm just gonna ride this on out.
Yeah, that's how I be doing my dreams now. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, you know what? Okay, now that I know that I am who I am in my dream. Now let the good times roll. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
Let's see
I
what
can
we
be
can do.
whatever. I could be anything I
Right.
want to be in my dream. You know what I'm saying?
Anything.
So, like,
Let's
you
do
know
it.
what? I'm the Jitsu guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm whoever I want to be. I'm super strong. I'm super fast. I'm smart. I'm whatever I
Whatever
want
you
to be.
want. Whatever. Be the biggest, the tallest, whatever.
Let's handle this. Yeah. So that's how I want it to be with my meditation, man. That because I tell you, that's some good rest though.
I didn't really get good rest until after I came out on the other, because there was a few nights I forgot what good sleep was, man. My nigga, I couldn't sleep.
Mm,
I get two
mm.
hours, nigga. I'm up all night, nigga. Oh fuck, 1:30. Oh damn, 2:30. Oh geez, 3:30.
She
Come on, 4:30. Gee, can I get some light?
she kept coming in here checking my temperature, my forehead, and seeing if I was breathing because I was out. You pull up that cover, it was like a pool of water.
Yes.
You know, it was just like this is crazy.
The good
So
thing
yeah,
is that pool of water. That's the health. That's your body naturally getting rid of
it's
it,
just right, right.
heating it up because you're sweating because you heat it up so much.
Hmm.
And through your toxins or your skin, your body can get rid of stuff.
Man, it's like so when I went to the because I had to get a note for my job. You know what I mean? So I went to the urgent care. And when I went in there, they did the little, stick the thing in your nose and look at your mouth open and everything. Then they was like, well, you definitely have influenza.
No, I know it. That's all that is water on your lungs. I had it too.
They was like, you definitely have the flu. So I was like, they's like, it's not COVID. It's
What did they give
definitely
you
the flu.
for it?
They gave me, I didn't take it. They had me I didn't even go to the store. It was like aspirin because I had diarrhea. So amlodipine for the stomach, and then they gave me like,
Why would they
um,
want to stop you from getting rid of the shit in you by taking away your diarrhea?
well, you know what? I didn't want to go ahead and be using it on myself, but I didn't buy it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to have to get up because man, it was really bad. I mean, sometimes I was just making it to the bathroom. It was just like that bad.
Oh,
But yes, but I didn't buy it. I didn't buy anything. She gave me a couple Tylenol or something one day, and that was it. I just sweated it
oh.
out and just handled it. But yeah, I just using the power of the mind. You know, the mind is everything.
But and you got to remember what's the lesson. That's when I
Yeah.
started coming out from the other end. It started reminding myself, well, nigga, you just didn't get sick for the sake of being sick.
Uh-huh. But you know
There's
what?
a
That's what I was
lesson in that.
telling. Mental. I really think that I was already feeling my body was wearing down because of the overtime. You know what I'm saying? I was telling one of the ladies at work, I was like, man, this weekend, I hope they don't ask because if they ask, I'm gonna take it. But if they don't ask, and so I did that Friday. And then I was like, that's it. I'm not doing the rest of the day. So Saturday I went about I was so freaking tired. That's the whole thing is my body was just, getting up at 1:30 or 2:30 or 3:30, to get to work. So
And you
I
also
was
got to remember, we ain't been doing no podcasts. Remember, there's a lot of
yeah,
energy, a lot of redemptive energy that comes from these,
yeah,
whether we
yeah,
know it or not.
yeah. So and that's the
Whenever the
thing is
spirit
just
comes down within us, when me and you together and two become one, that's a healing energy.
yeah. And you know what? And that's the whole thing is you still have to go ahead, no matter how busy you are, how tired you are, we still have to do what our purpose and our mission is. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? You still have to make time. And if you don't, what will happen? That's the lesson right there. What will happen if you don't? You get taken down where you have to. You don't have no choice.
Right. Or you'll revert back to being a Christian or Catholic or whatever.
No,
Oh,
that ain't
bro, you
happening.
got to go back and listen to the last key, bro. The last key broke down everything. Hold on, where did it say it was talking about religion? But it broke down everything. So can you you want to go through this last key with me? It's not that long. It's only a page or two.
Go ahead, bro.
All right. So this is the last key, Jazzy, in the Father's universe. God's plan has no end. It is life in the house of many mansions. Now, shouldn't that be good news?
That's what we that's your favorite words.
Favor you. God's plan had this is where I get it from, Jazzy. This is why I keep telling you about God's plan. Remember, I used to tell you about God. I know you used to be like, what the fuck is he talking about?
The Father has a plan. The Father has a plan.
The Father has a plan. The Father has a plan. The Father has a plan. Bro, all you got to do is get. So now, if you watch back through these chapters, now you know the Father's plan. Here's the end of the plan. This should be the accumulation of all the other 17 keys. So there's 18 keys in the Father's universe. So God's plan has no end. It is the life in the house of many mansions. All right. A divine plan has been issued to balance Earth or man's violation of cosmic law of light and love. This plan has been issued to negate man's violation of destruction of his atmosphere and his radiation fields, especially through his misuse of atomic energy. He has also created a destruction to many biological kingdoms on his planetary station known as the planet Earth. Then it gives you this picture. Very tough to see. See what the hierarchy. It's showing you. It says the hierarchy of the Father's universe. At the top, it says the Ancient of Days. Then at the corners, it had the 24 elders. On both outsides, it has the Creator gods. Then it starts the pyramid of Yue Wave conscious light. Then it actually goes on into other things, but that's a whole nother story. But what is showing you that there is no end, and we are already in the house of many mansions, Jazz.
Okay.
Earth is part of this. Okay? Earth is a very important part because it's step one. This is how we get back, or how those that were created here moves on, or those that came down here to teach get their redemptive energies returned. Well, let me keep going. This plan has been issued to negate man's violation and destruction of his atmosphere's radiation fields, especially through the misuse of atomic energy. He's also created destruction to his many biological kingdoms on his planetary Earth station known as Earth. Man has shown that he has lost control of his planet by virtue of danger of not only presents to himself, but the other surrounding planetary environments by his pursuit of atomic energy for the use of destruction. In addition, the councils that have governed the earthly planet field have also observed man's desire to extend his planetary society to other regions without spiritual understanding and still using technology of death. The councils include the councils of 9, which govern the local universe, the councils of 12, which govern the new programs of creation for the local universe and surrounding universes, the council of 144, which is the overseers of the spiritual hierarchies in the universe comprising the Father's universe. Notice, Jazzy, these are other places we can go, other realms we can exist in, all depending on how we use our love and light right now. The house of many mansions. It is huge. All that represents is all those stars out there, those zodiac signs, those constellations. All that is the house of many mansions.
Okay.
All right, let me keep going. The changing electromagnetic density in the Earth's atmosphere will activate some species to become more violent and other species more Christ-like as they are pulled either into the upward spiral of light or negated by the breakdown of the old magnetic frequency. This will bring about the complete reorganization of the Earth's life system as human creation begins to operate with a new magnetic and electromagnetic creation power. Presently, there's also a galactic war and a house cleaning that is being completed throughout the universe, which will advance some populations of one intelligence to population two star systems, and recycle other forms of population two intelligence, which have used their knowledge of creation as aberrations in the heavens. After the completion of the program historically known as Israel, which means the original Hebrew scrolls, the consciousness of light, which contends with the higher mind until victory, there will be a conscious reprogramming of mankind on this planet in the region originally identified as Atlantis. So now it's talking about the whole reprogramming.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Where your
Mm-hmm.
some will be taken and some will be left. Ain't nobody being taken. It's just that we're going to have a whole new body on us, a body of light that can't be seen with the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't no poof, no miracle, ain't none of this. The consciousness, the light body, our whole essence. There'll be a new earth and a new heavens. I can't stress it enough. We ain't going back to the old shit. All this shit will be gone.
Mm-hmm.
The 12 conscious dimensions of spiritual man will receive a central reprogramming in the original land of the Ancient of Days. This is the sacred land of the West, which in the regions originally grids used by the masters of Yuhe Wavhe about 4,000 to 5,000 millennia ago. Thus, the new program Israel will become a new plan of victory, which will allow the intelligence of this planet to freely move upon other planets and at the same time invite other planetary intelligence to commute with this planet. Before the story of creation happened, the story of creation happened, the Earth will go through this gross magnetic catastrophe. It will go through a geomagnetic and catastrophic changes on the magnetic regions of the North and South Pole, releasing torque, spinning the shell of the Earth into a new program of existence. They've already talking about how the magnetic poles are shifting.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is just letting you know why they're happening, what's happening. This is why we're never supposed to be in the dark to anything, Jazzy. We should know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and when you start getting sacred books like the Book of Knowledge, if you just sit there and be patient, you will know. Let me keep going. During the completion of the cycles of the star progression, our entire solar system will enter into a vacuum in space where no magnetic field exists. This is called the electromagnetic null zone. At this time, cosmic waves will enter the polars areas of the Earth and penetrate to the very core of the globe. These waves will not be released some 48 times 10 tons of torque on the Earth, but will trigger an unseen wave property from the core of the Earth, placing catastrophic stress on the shell of the Earth, spinning the mantle of the Earth. The world shall fulfill the cycle of rounds prophesied as she enters into a new meridian of time.
Mm.
Okay? Conscious time. All this entropy, decay, one sun, all that's dead. Now we're in a multi-sun system. Maybe even in a blue sun system where it's light without heat, just conscious light. There will be occurring a fulfillment of the ancient spiritual and scientific prophecies through the 64 keys of Enoch and the revelation breaking the 7 seals on the book of Revelation, as well as explaining how the brotherhoods of light will work with the members of the human race who can accept the promise of new life and a new Madrid in other universes, a new life and new ways in other universes. Spiritual evolution and the consciousness as both. We are now witnessing the coming together of spiritual evolution and consciousness as both unite into the consciousness of the living light, the energy used by the infinite mind, the infinite creation, and the infinite species. The living light will be understood as a code as I am that I am, ether, asha, ether, as the consciousness of light of one star creation is attached to the I am consciousness on a higher evolution, forming the I am that I am. Behold, the field of white is white and ready for the harvest when you give your life to harvesting the planetary station, A greater ionization becomes your body. Your new body of light is connected to the galactic thresholds of the house of many mansions, which is the deliverance of all manner of flesh, centropy. The unification of the I am to the I am, the higher evolution through spiritual hierarchies, begins a new evolutionary cycle. And at the end of this cycle, the collective messiahships, Moses, Jesus, Elijah, as the paradise trinity of the Christ energy will return to Uriel, the creator of the inner light, Metatron, the creator of the outer light, and Michael, the creator of the galactic universe, as a demonstration of the return of the programs of the Father's will in gathering and remaining righteousness on the earth, who will be graduated to go into other light life realms. So what is it saying? It's saying that all these energies, so you can have one of the energies of the Lords of Light, just Elijah, just Christ, just Buddha, what have you, or you can have all of them. It depends on where you're going to go. How much more
Mm.
opening do you need to your complete?
Mm.
Okay. And it's showing that
Mm.
I am is in you to a higher I am that's in you. Has nothing to do with anyone else.
Mhm.
And it will occur after the wars between the sons of light and the sons of darkness, that a new age, will occur for all mankind, surviving the great changes amongst the disasters on this planet. However, those, who will not choose to be chosen in taking the higher light of spirit, in taking the higher spiral of light, instead, the lower spiral of decay, entropy, will not receive final destruction, but will return to the beginnings of metamatter and pre-evil earth. This will begin a new cycle of creation as the righteous are advanced to the next ordering of evolution within the next conscious time cell, and as a co-citizen and co-participant in the Madrids of dimensions of the universal mind of Uawave, behind all creator gods. And the body of man will go through the pyramid of flesh and crystal and the transfigured into the next star pyramid of light, eventually go beyond numerous galactic divisions, for all things are connected to the Father's cosmic pyramid, which integrates all central controls and all administrative networks behind all microcosms. The master who faithfully serves the Father in the lower dust world's creation is given an opportunity to acquire a natural being of begottenness, self-sustainingness, self-creating in the name of Yuhei. So us that come down here to do the job, Jazzy, come down here to say to people, our reward is different
Mm.
because we knew what we
Mhm.
was getting into.
Mhm.
In every carnation, we had to be faithful to the Spirit, and everywhere, in everything we do. We had to find
Mhm.
ourselves each life.
Mhm. So, what you saying that I had a thought. When was it? This morning or last night? I had went outside and I looked around, and I don't know if you watched that video I put in our text group about when all those Cabbage Patch Kids was. They showed the Cabbage Patch Kids.
Uh,
It was like a reset, and then they had like the kids, babies wrapped up in cabbage, and that's where they got the Cabbage Patch. Did you see that video?
I didn't. I thought I
Yo,
did,
I
but
got.
not the babies wrapped up in the cabbage.
It was like in the 1800s or something like that. It was like a reset, and then they had a whole bunch of babies that was just in cabbage, and that's where they got the Cabbage Patch. So back in the 80s, when the Cabbage Patch Kids was a big thing, the doll, it was something that really truly happened. I gotta find that video,
Oh,
yo. Yo, it's crazy. So I was looking at stuff, and then if you look at like throughout the timeline, like all the movies and stuff that you see, is always some type of deep reset. You notice it's just
yep.
like when you watch like the 100, the 100. I watched that because it showed how it was some type of explosion or something, and then they moved up in space for like 100 years, and then they sent 100 kids down here to go ahead and see if they can survive, and then when they found out how the habitat and everything down here. Then the remainder came down here, but it was a struggle. And then it's just like the
Mm.
movie C with the dude that played Aquaman. That
Mhm.
it was a thing that blinded everybody. The whole world was blind. Only a few people could see, and the people that could see, they thought was like witchcraft or something like that. They didn't want people to, they were
Well, they
special
had too much power.
power. Yeah. So, but but the ones without the without their sight, I mean, they talents. I mean, their other senses picked up very the smell, the hearing.
Very
They
well.
can. Yeah. So, but if you notice, it's just always been some type of reset, and I really feel that one is coming. I
That's what
mean
we've
that
been. That's what I've been
it.
talking about for the.
No, 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 no. Yeah, I'm just saying, but I really start to sense and feel how it really and it seemed like each time they keep trying to do something else, something else, something else, like the pandemic. That was like a reset. You know what I'm saying? However, it's gonna be, it's something else. It's always a different type of reset, and then only the ones that can you imagine, like right now, if something came and then it was just newborns, and then they had to start. Some of them survived enough. They going through the whole
Right.
prehistoric.
Everything,
They,
relearning everything over again.
it'll be prehistoric. It'll be prehistoric learning from them because there won't be nobody to teach them anything. What is poisonous? I mean, venomous. What you can touch, what you can't touch. They got to go through life, not knowing anything, being afraid of everything.
That's the
And
reset.
then
Well,
yeah,
not
and then
necessarily the fear. If they were infants, they wouldn't make it. They're not gonna
right.
make it.
I'm just saying, just say like a couple teens, and then
I
they
know
were
what you're
able
saying.
to.
And
You
everyone
see what
over
I'm saying?
21 died.
You're right. It would be really, it would be really messed up. I mean, it'd be really, some will go ahead and make it, but then you're going to have these ones that's 21, they ain't going to be able to chill and do all of that other stuff no more because responsibility to be, they're responsible at this point. They're the parent and the grandparent. They're
They're
the
all
ones that, so just like you said, everyone under 21, I mean, they would have to learn how to go ahead and do everything. How to start a car, I mean, how to fix a flat, anything.
everything. Got to start over.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, what do you
That
think? Like when they said the Aztecs were there. They went over there again. The Aztecs was gone. They moved on. I mean, it can happen. This ain't the first go round, the first cycle
no,
procession of the equinox.
and
But
then
what
the whole
what
thing is
Enoch is saying is this has happened over and
and
over
over,
and over and over again.
over again. So look at how far technology has come now, right? And then to be wiped out, we're 21 years and younger, and they don't even know how advanced technology has got. So everything will be like new to them. They'll
Well,
be trying to
you got to
discover.
remember, unless it's coming from within inside the heart, like the Kemetic, civilization had. That's why they reached such a height of scientific genius and prowess. When you want to use it for selfish realms, you can still get to a nice high science, but you'll never get to the father's plan or the father's science. You can't
Mm,
because you're trying to use it for your own destructive reasons. That's the
yeah.
whole point of allowing the Elohim to create in their own image. Okay, you can create any image you want to, but the father's
Hmm.
image is the only image that connects with everything else. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
So it depends. It's always going to depend on what is it going to be the glory of Jazzy, or is it going to be the higher glory of the spirit thing that we done tapped into? You see what I'm saying? But
But you
either
know
way, it
what?
has
At this point, what else really matters?
facts.
when you really sit down and think about it, it's just like, okay, look, I mean, mental. You don't had nice houses. You don't drove nice cars. You don't had the nice clothes. You don't had the nice women. You don't had the money. I mean, what else? It's just like at the point where Will Smith, like you said, okay, now what else can you do that's really going to go ahead and tickle your fancy? And the only thing that can come is the reprobated mind state, like those rich elites start doing that, all of that foul, that dark that dark web type stuff, that because they don't have
No,
anything else.
they first they get a house, then they get more houses, they get a car, then they get more cars, they get gold, then they get more gold, they get trips, they take more trips. But after a while, it's only stuff.
Yeah,
That's
and then
why they
that's
can
why I
offer
said,
you the whole world for the price of your soul. This shit right here gets old after a while. It
mm,
gets weak as fuck.
hmm
You can only do so much sex. You can only have so much drugs. You can only look so good. You can only have so much of the best shit. Got money and have nothing to spend it on. That's excellent. That's where your ass should
hmm
be. Now, who you gonna
hmm
depend on for your happiness,
mm,
forgiveness? Your faith. Can't use money.
mm.
Money's a crutch.
Especially then if you be around people that everybody got money, what's the difference?
What's the difference? There is none.
You know what I'm saying? You just living next door to somebody that's just got it just as much as you got, and you know what I'm saying? If not more.
I was talking to somebody. I was like, "What else do I need? I mean, what else does a nigga really need? You got somewhere to stay. You got a car. You wear. You good. Boom, boom, boom. What else do you need? You got family. What else do you need? Stop being so greedy."
But you know what? You know what's happening is that they're programming it into our women.
No, it's
That's
programmed
that.
in the guys too.
Yeah, but it's more, if you look at it, it's more the women, because it's like, what can you do for me? I need this. I need you to be like that. I need to
That's
go
not
this.
all
I need
women.
to do
It's
that.
most of them, but it's not all.
But the younger ones now, because that's what they're putting in the songs. And if you look at,
Once again,
it's a
if you
lot,
got that game, Jazzy, it don't matter what the hell they into. Stop it.
right?
You know better
No,
than
no,
that.
no, no,
Don't
no.
matter.
Yeah, I do.
None of that
No.
matters. None of that
Mm,
matters. You know that. None of that matters. So it depends where you at. It's just
mm.
that most young kids don't know that. They too young to
Right.
know it.
That's what I'm saying. And they're the ones that's being programmed now.
Because it's easy, nigga. Oh,
I seen a
no. We ain't doing
I,
all
s-
that.
I seen a video today. This lady, and then she was talking to the guy, and then she was like, "Oh, yeah, this, that, I'm gonna need." And then he said, "Oh, okay, we're opening up to each other." And then he's like, "Oh," and she's like, "Wait a minute, are you talking woman stuff to your as a man to your woman?" He's like, "I thought we was just being." No, 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 that's kind of sass. She's like, so he couldn't even talk to her. She's like, I need you to be strong. I need you to go ahead and this and that. So he couldn't even communicate with his woman, because
Wow.
she's like, now you asking me to be the woman and the man. That's not what I'm trying to hear from you. I want to hear that you're going to handle this, that, or whatever. He couldn't even say anything.
He couldn't.
That, yeah.
That's all I can tell you on that one. He couldn't.
But that's what I said. But the whole thing about the reset, I I, I sense it really coming. Is, and it's going to be quick too. It's going to be so quick. A lot of people won't even see it coming. Actually,
It's
it's
probably
already
look, it's
happening.
happening
It's
right. I was
already
gonna
now.
say
It's
it's
already
happening
it's
now.
already it's already happening now. It's just that people not paying attention.
As
It's that
normal.
thing. It's that thing where they say, like a twinkling of the eye. You know what I'm saying? Comes like a thief in the night, like a twinkling of an eye. You know. So that's the thing. It's just like it happens so quick, and then you look back and you just be like, "Damn, what the?"
It's
That's the
over.
part that you. Yeah, yeah. And then there was this one guy. He was trying to talk to his woman, right? He had a some wire, and then she was like, "Are you all right?" And then he was sitting out there. He said, I had this for 40 years. 40 years. And he said, I'm almost out. And he said, more than 40 years of this wire is gone and is gone on to do other things, and this is all I have left. And he was trying to vent to her, like, wow, life came at him, and like,
Yeah, he
he
just thought about it. Yeah.
and she was like, oh, I thought you were down because you had on your Jets hat. He got up and just walked away. Yo, 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 yo. I was like, that's the way the world is, man.
Those are just poor examples.
It's just that, but you starting to be more aware of it now.
Right. It's always been there, but
And
I
there's
mean, if you're gonna find a woman with low intelligence, if that's what you're attracted to, come on. Why is that? Because either you have low intelligence or you have
uh-huh,
superior intelligence and you want to try to just be superior so you can trick her. I mean, everything
uh-huh,
is either going to be an advantage or a disadvantage. Someone trying
uh-huh.
to do something to someone. I mean, just like there's these women that ain't got no conscious thoughts, there's also the ones that do.
Right.
Look, that's why what is it? It's cheaper to keep her.
Mm-hmm. It sure
You
is,
ain't,
bro.
you ain't gonna find nothing out there better than what you got. Men know
Some
that, but
think so.
women don't. Women think there's the Prince Charming is in the bushes waiting on them. Look, they think this millionaire is thinking about Shaquita and her 3 kids. Who can I go rescue today? I'm gonna go with Shaquita and them 3 kids. That's who I'm gonna go give my all to. That's
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna do today. Don't make
Mm,
no sense, no way how you sound it. But
right.
every last one of them think, well, I only got 1 kid. I'm 40. I got a job and I'm doing this. Or they can go get uh Bonnie, who's 26, no job, ready to do whatever she wants you to do, whatever you want her to
Mm,
do,
mm.
and
And who wants that?
try to shame men for wanting younger women. Come on, bro,
Yeah.
cut it out,
Yeah. Yeah.
cut it out.
So that's the last book of that was the last book,
The
the
Father's
last chapter.
universe, yeah,
Okay.
the
Okay.
Father's
So
universe. So the Father's universe. The Father's universe, the keys to the Father's universe explain how the mansion worlds of the Father are connected to the Creator Sons and creating new universes through cosmic pyramids of light. So it's showing how these Creator Sons go to the Father, are in the Father's presence, soaking up his consciousness. But they can only stay there so long because of the overwhelming power of the Father. They get sent back out in the realms of darkness and create universes, galaxies, and solar systems in the image of the Father, of the plan of the Father.
mm,
Okay. All these agencies are set up for Earth like planets like ours. Of course,
mm,
normally we'd be with the plan, the Father's plan, but we're not. So we need all these redemptive energies to redeem us. But being a fallen
mm.
planet is kind of normal. Well, it's not normal. It's abnormal, but it happens. 3 out of every 10, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So being on a
Mm.
planet like ours is actually another added advantage to either do better or to get worse. Don't get it twisted.
So are you saying that is it different frequencies or this? I mean, because everything is due to vibration, like
Facts.
even how we're made. So
Facts. If you could
on
vibrate a
different.
little quicker, you'd be on a whole, you'd disappear,
Mm,
reappear on that next vibrational level where those physical
right.
bodies require a higher vibration.
Okay.
Remember, this is just the electromagnetic body. This is a gravitationally trapped light matter body. You have
Mm,
bodies that aren't gravitationally trapped,
mm,
that work beyond our light spectrum, the little 3%
mm,
that we see.
mm,
Remember, these eyes only see 3% of the light spectrum.
Right.
That means 97% of it is somewhere else. And that somewhere else is in you. That's what starts activating when they start talking about the spirit of the gift and the mind expansion and your consciousness awakening and that light. That's all just conscious opening up the inner you so you can see other realms, other light spectrums.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So
Never
that's
nothing to be afraid of.
yeah, the thing is, at this point, why would you even be afraid?
Well, because that when you don't know, what most people don't know, they fear. Simple as that.
Because,
What they
well,
don't
you know what?
know, they fear. And what they believe they fear sometimes.
I think that's that television stuff too, though.
Right. Horror movies. Oh, they're out to get you. They're trying to kill you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everything's out for your life. They want to
Yeah.
take your body, possess you. Come
Mm-hmm.
on.
Mm-hmm.
Fear
And the
tactic
only
is
thing that's holding you back is you.
the only thing.
Wow.
When we're supposed to be knowing about the Father's universe, how we move from
Mm-hmm.
one realm to the next. Supposed to know about this so that when we become where we're at a clear state of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
This was part of the 40-year university in Kemet. Books like the Book of Knowledge, not only did you have to know, you had to know it thoroughly.
Mm.
The Medu Netter.
Mm.
It talked about the Kabbalah in here. The Medu Netter. Not only did you have to know it, you had to know it thoroughly.
Mm.
And when you get books like that, that causes mind expansion. You go
On
back to
itself.
your tribe, you look like you're a shaman. You do shit, you're performing miracles. They're not miracles, it's just that they don't know the science you use.
So, my daughter grandmother, I just realized that, because I was doing she heard us talking and stuff before and everything. So I had this book at the house. So the book that Shabaka, the early civilization, and she's
Uh,
like, "Oh, no, do you
I
mind if
remember
I
reading
was
that.
like, I was like, yeah, go ahead, take it. She got through that, a light came on because she booked a trip to Africa after that.
Mm-hmm.
She went ahead and she got the netter, but she didn't have the one that we got. She read another one. She remember I told you she was
That's
taking
not
that
the Netter
class.
Netter then. Don't say they're the same
Yeah,
thing. That's not the
yeah.
same
That's
thing.
so she took a trip to Africa 2 summers ago. 2 summers ago, and it was one of those kind of things like where they do the tour and they help you learn the hieroglyphics and you go to
I
different
wonder if
places.
it was
Which
Quasi. I saw Quasi.
I have to ask her, but which is good because before that she wasn't even open to listening to a lot of different stuff. But after that, she still the thing is like she came from Catholic, then she went to Christianity, and from there she did a little bit of comedic science. So it just shows you that what certain things are because like Shabaka said, he was like that was the book that opened his mind. So I mean, different ones open different people. Like that's a
Which
doorway.
one?
The African civilization. Remember when we had him
Yeah.
on?
They
He
do you know
said that
they
was the
teach
one.
that in Tuskegee. That's
Oh,
an
I didn't
actual
know
book
that.
they teach. Yeah, my wife went to Tuskegee and that's where she learned. I was like, yeah, I remember now. I learned it, of course, just through my spiritual science, but it was showing that if you go to some of these black universities, they do try to get
Hmm.
you right now. But it ain't
You
gonna be in the
breaking up,
main
Vincent?
ones. Uh-oh. You can't hear me?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Now I can. Yeah, now I can.
I'm just saying, so They'll teach you some stuff in these black universities. They'll open up some of these black books and give you a little something, but you ain't gonna get none of that anywhere else.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
None. Knowledge of who you are, that has to come on you, bro. And it all gonna depend on your thirst for it.
Mm-hmm.
How thirsty are you? How much do you really want to know?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Which is, I'm kind of, I was happy for her too, though, because that's a lot from, to go, it may not seem like a lot to us because, but when you look at somebody that, it just shows growth that even she can go ahead and put, like, try to go ahead and be open-minded enough to get a better understanding. And the seed is planted. Now it's up to her what she do with it from there. You see what I'm saying? So it's good I'm glad that I could be somewhat of help, and, inspire enough for, because I was just sitting back there thinking about, I was like, man, she borrowed that book and she went on to go ahead and that's good because she did it in a way. I think she did it in a way that was, she found somebody. I think she might have did a research and found somebody that was Christian based on it. You see what I'm saying? Still,
Man,
you know
doesn't
what?
matter.
Even
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Right. It's because you know what it does? It still gives you, the introductory, and you're going to get something from it, no matter what. It's just like you can't pick
Once again, it's
up
always going to depend on their fever for it. If you got a
Mm-hmm.
fever for the truth, you gonna get high temperature results. If you just lukewarm
Mm-hmm.
for it, you gonna get lukewarm
Mm-hmm.
results. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You got some
Yeah.
people that want to know, but just want to know certain things. They don't want to know everything or know the truth. They just want to know just this. That's it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, to know doesn't mean anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have some that knowing is constant.
Right.
It's a constant evolutionary thing. Either I'm getting better or I'm getting worse.
Right.
I can never stop.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we say there's open-ended ceiling. There's no such thing as the stop in this progression that we on, this spiritual adventure.
So the other thing that I noticed is that, like you said, the hunger. Okay, so like you wanted it because you want to know everything about everything.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like with me, that's the kind of thing. Is just like, you know what? I want to know how this thing operates and universally works. I want to know every nook and cranny.
When the knowledge started coming to me, I didn't back away. I took it to the next level. How dare you give me books thinking that I'm not going to read it? Mm-hmm. Next. I used to mock the spirit. I was nasty with it, Jazzy. I used to be like, next. This is all you got? This all you got? Book after book. Book after book. Then I'd read some books over again.
And see, another thing too is that it's depending how indoctrinated some people are. You see what I'm saying? Like the deeper the like say for me, it was tough for me, being a PK. You know what I'm saying? Because the first thing that I ever learned was Bible verses before I even knew how to really,
That's everybody.
I was saying different prayers, different scriptures in front of the church at 5. I was reading, so that's what I'm saying. I was learning.
That wouldn't have been me. No, I'm serious.
We all.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I used to fight for it, baby. I remember going to church and being like, man, this is the worst of the worst. Yeah. I don't know what the hell they talking about. It's this and that. Because remember, when I look back now, I see that I probably should have got the shit smacked out of me, which I did every now and then. But what I was saying was true. And they couldn't believe it. Because I wasn't just talking like, out of ego. I had no ego then. Spirit come straight to me like, man, this some bull. Look at this. This going on. Come on. And my dad used to look at me. I was like, oh, this dude here, this middle child. God damn. God help me.
Yeah, my dad was like,
I was a lot, bro. I was a
my
lot. That's
dad
all I can tell you. I was a lot.
He'd come out the pool pit where I'm sitting in the full church, jack me up. And my dad ain't play. You know what I'm saying? It was different.
Right.
Like some people, some parents was a little more lenient. My dad was he would not budge. It was just like that was in him from beating him as a kid.
And I understand. This is why now next you can understand how many what's a good word besides beatings? What's a better word? I don't want to think I got beat.
Chastised.
There you go. Chastised. Physically chastised. There you go. There was a lot. Sometimes I tire them out. I did just, all right, bro. We can't beat you no more. It's over. I mean, chastised.
Yeah.
I was cut from a cloth. Oh. High energy and consistent.
My dad, I told you about the worst whooping that I had got before, didn't I?
Probably, but say it again.
Okay, so it was a yard sale down the street from my house, right? And so me and the kid next door, Mark, me and him, we was going down there, and all the kids on the street. It was like, they're buying stuff. So remember the football boards that had the little men that you put on and they vibrate and everything. So she had a couple of those with like 4 or 5 teams on them or whatever. So I wanted it. So I didn't have no bread. So what I did, I went up my dad dresser, and the bottom of the thing, he had those old buffalo head, those coins and everything.
No.
So I grabbed a whole bunch of them, and then I brought some stuff. She's like, "Oh, baby, make sure you come back," because she looked at the money. It's like, "Oh, this is plenty," So I said, "Oh, we got some more money left." So I buried them on the side of the house, and I told my homeboy, I was like, "Yo, this where we're gonna keep this," for I was a little kid. Then so he's like, okay. So I remember my grandma, everybody was up, and it was like a hot summer Sunday or something. He come knocking on our back door on Bradburn. He's like, "Hey, here go the rest of our coins," and because I couldn't come outside on Sunday, so then he was like, so my dad said, "Coins." He said, "Those better not be my coins." And he just told me,
Lord, over.
He told me, he said, "Go wait down in the basement."
Damn! I'm running away. You ain't about to kill me in the basement. Hell no.
My dad came back from outside with a branch. He whooped my ass, boy. Whew. Yo, it was so bad that all the kids on the street, like when we was younger, when you get a whooping, everybody on the street, whoever's getting in trouble, will go sit on their lawn and let them hear them get, spanked, whatever, right? So all of my friends was outside. They was all sitting listening at me holler. So I guess one of the neighbors called the child protector.
Oh, here we go.
So they came. So the lady came in the house and she's like, "Yeah, I had a call and I'm coming here to check. And I like to see look at your children, reports of abuse." So my father was like,
No.
He let him in. He let her in.
You don't have to, nigga. Do you have a warrant? That's the first thing.
I would show you how
go ahead.
brutal.
I know what you're saying, but go ahead.
I would show you how brutal my dad was. He let the woman in, and then he had us all lined up from oldest to youngest. He said, "Dude, it looked like he said, I take good care of my children." He said, "Look at my home." He said, "My home is clean. My My wife cares for our family, this, that, or whatever. And he said, you know what he did? She said, and then my father told her, he said, and you know what? Just for that, I'm gonna show you what I gave him. Pulled off his belt and whooped me in front of her again.
Oh,
yo,
I'm gonna show
yo,
you what I did. I'm gonna show you exactly what I
yo,
did, so you know firsthand of what's going on here. Wow,
yo,
my bad,
yo,
brother.
yo,
That ain't good, man. That ain't good. That ain't good.
yo, my dad whooped my tail again. Yo, he was pissed, man, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? But you know the whole thing about it, I might have been the one that got the most. You know, because I was the black sheep. You know, I did a lot of. I just didn't want to conform. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's
We
like, "Oh
couldn't,
boy,
Jazzy. We couldn't.
huh?
We're
Yeah."
not conformists.
Hmm.
I don't care what family you put me in. We had to get in the families that would tolerate us enough. That's about what.
Yeah,
That's our best
because
hope.
I was always going over my aunts or uncle houses with my cousins and stuff that I could just go ahead and be a kid, you know, where I didn't
Right.
have to be a Bible scholar all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it was
I'd
tough,
have been the
man.
worst Bible scholar. I might even pretended not even to read, bro. I had a lot of craziness going on.
Yeah, my dad didn't play though. My dad was strong and he was big. You know what I'm saying? My and
Mm.
my he yeah, my dad he hit hard.
My
You know
dad
what I'm
was
saying?
strong and he was silent. Even worse.
Yeah, yeah. It used to you knew when you was getting in trouble. Like he come home and
Eh,
then you hear the dresser drawer open and you hear them belts going. Well, you just start shaking because you like, oh, what did I do?
no.
You know what I'm saying?
I used to get in so much trouble. This shit was crazy. A
Yeah,
beating was around the corner, nigga. Ain't no telling when you
yeah,
found something I've done. I did so
mm,
much. Yeah,
yeah.
you can't keep track of all that, bro.
Mm. But
I was
you know what
I
I'm
was just
saying?
busy. I was into everything.
But you know what? It did keep me out of a lot of trouble. I was always skeptical about doing this or doing that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my friends, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
was getting
If
locked up, got
I ain't doing
killed.
nothing that's gonna do that.
Yeah, you know, they was doing stuff, going to jail, getting locked up, dying. You know what I'm saying? So it did protect me from because it made me. You hear that voice, and like you know, your dad and your mom is not gonna be. You know what I'm saying? I always heard that voice. So it's just like as I got older, it kept me, you know. So I am thankful. But you know, I told you after like about four, 4, 5, maybe 5 years ago, they pulled me in the room and then it was like, we was hard on you, son. We apologized. You was the oldest. We didn't know any better. You know, as the kids got
Wow, I
old,
never got that.
yeah, they apologized. And it's like, you know,
Mm.
it's like it's like we sorry we didn't know use like our test child we kept having children. Things got a little bit easier how to deal with things, but we just had to make we started off because we want our just set a standard for the way, and everybody was scared because they always seen me getting whooping, so they was a lot better than me until I got older and I come back and then they all doing whatever. I'm like, what's going on here? Oh, them kids, yeah, them kids.
What's
I'm like,
going on? I know you're like, whoa, what is
yeah,
going on here?
yeah, yo, I came back. I was married at the time, and then me and my ex-wife we had came back up to visit for like a week or something, and then I went by my parents' house. I was like, hey, I said, where Rav at? She was like, oh, I ain't seen that boy in about 3 or 4 days. I was like, what? I had to be in the house at midnight and I was out of
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
She ain't see him in like 3 or 4 days, and I'm like, and he still lives here. He still has a room here. Yo, things changed a lot, and I seen it change as it got, But like I said, when they apologized, I was like, look, it ain't your fault. I know that it was the best that you did because you did, that's what you knew. And I said, it made me a stronger person than who I am today. So I said I'm thankful. I said don't worry about me, I'm good. I love y'all both. So but it just the whole thing is. And then it just, a lot of stuff it just made me think is just like, that's why I was just like, why can't I just go ahead? Why is this bothering me so much to just believe this stuff? you know? And then the answers start coming.
Right. Once
And
you
then they
ask
still,
that honest question to yourself, wait a minute, why is this really, really bothering me? Oh, there you go.
wait a
Those are the
minute,
steps you needed to make.
wait a minute, something's not right.
Right. Hold on.
yeah,
I
so
smell
that's
a
the,
rat.
yeah, so that's, and then when I started doing my own research and stuff, it's a wrap. I think like 2006 when I was it 2000 2006 when I really started just to venture off and just go ahead start listening to that lady, that meditation lady, Abraham Hicks. That was the first person. That was around the time The Secret came out, and I just never turned back.
Mm.
I just kept finding different people, Bobby Hemmett, Brother Panic, just people just start coming. And I was
I
just like,
went
yo,
from Dr. York. We went over all the that dude put a fine comb tooth through the Bible.
mm,
He also went over the Quran.
hmm
So then he was going over all the other stuff. He had the Gilgamesh, Kamish. He had all the Emerald Tablet. So I started boom boom. Then right when that started getting to about the peak of what I could get out of him, Bobby Hemmett hit. Well,
mm,
I hit the Bobby Hemmett, I should say.
mm.
And then the shit just went crazy then.
hmm
Because Bobby Hemmett I had all the books I had read, most people never read. So I'm reading books to see what they talking about.
I really started when I first started hearing them was on those black CD DVDs that was coming out. That's when I first started hearing about
Oh no, I
Bobby
started
Hemmett.
downloading, and once I got one, it led me to another. Before you know it, nigga, there was plethora of Bobby Hemmett.
hmm hmm
Plethora.
hmm
And then towards the end, it started getting. This was before he had the stroke. All they did started getting Look like I done seen all I'm gonna see from Bobby. That's when Brother Panic started coming in.
hmm
I'd already listened to Valentine, all of them.
hmm
I was like,
Oh,
oh shit, other people think like me. What?
did you peep the Rod Hayes and Seven Bomer?
No.
Oh, they on together. It's fire.
Oh, it is. What's up
It's
with your
fire.
boy, Billy
I haven't
Carson?
heard. yeah, I haven't heard nothing else about it. Oh boy.
Yeah, I told you. Something ain't right.
Yeah, yeah. We talked about it and like about maybe 2 months before that. He was just saying, yo,
Mhm.
something ain't right about your boy, man.
Well,
I was
no,
listening
because
to him.
no. Remember, I told you. He said, "Yeah, when they landed on the moon." Whoa, 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 whoa,
Mm,
whoa. What'd you just say?
mm-hmm,
Okay,
mm-hmm,
so you're endorsing certain things and just not others. Gotcha.
mm-hmm,
Because I thought he was in
mm-hmm.
the realm of knowing.
You know what he should have did? He should have just stuck to what he know. You know what I'm saying? If he didn't know like certain things, but the thing is that's what happens though. When you get to a
But the
point
problem is,
where
you can't let someone say, "Well, we already know that was a known forgery." Well, shit, I can say the whole Bible is a known forgery. What are you talking about?
right,
You see what I'm saying? There were ways
right,
to come back if you knew that you knew what you knew, but he didn't know. When you know,
mm,
there's no backing down. There's no corner for me to go to, Jazz.
right.
There's no corner. There's nowhere to hide.
But
Nigga, I'm out in the
you know
goddamn
that
open, nigga, with the truth.
see the thing with him though, I think a lot what happened with him was the fact that he was bragging. He's like, I'm the only one that has
Right,
this. I'm the only
right.
one that I know all of this. I know
No,
all
no,
of
say it again.
I
Whenever you make
I
it about you, pride before
mm-hmm.
the fall.
Paul, yeah. He said, I have all of this. I've written books. I've done this. I've done when you start doing that kind of stuff, that's why no matter I don't care if it's just that's what I tell people. It's like You have to get to a point in your spirituality where even if you didn't read another book, you should be in tune with spirit within inside of you to go ahead and make intuitive decisions for not basically saying that, oh, I'm just going to make a decision. No, allow spirit to help you make the right decision before you do anything. Never go ahead and be like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I got a degrees in this, I got that. I mean, because you can have all of that and still be wrong.
Facts.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing is it's like, I don't care how many books you read. You know what the whole thing is? Something still be like, oh, my spirit
Well,
is telling me,
remember, it's not
yeah,
about what you've read. It's about how you can interpret it and give it to someone that hasn't read it. That's how you
right,
know what you know. When you can
right,
break it down and give it to someone else and help them understand a book that they've never read or a principle or, you know what
hmm
I'm saying, or a revelation or an inspiration, any of that. When you can break it down and help them, then it lets you know how much you know about yourself.
and that's the biggest thing that I work off of, principles. What the spirit say. What the did you talk to did you get an answer from the spirit? Are you just doing this because you want to do it, or are you willing to go ahead and wait? And I told my son a couple things. I was like, just wait, just watch 3 to 5 days. I said, watch, and if this doesn't happen this way, I guarantee you, spirit gonna show up and show you the truth. And then it comes back, and I was like, "So what did I tell you? You was right, Dad." I said, that's the whole thing. It's just like I don't be relying on myself no more. Because when we rely on ourselves, it's just that's when we get in trouble. I can kind of have an educated guess, but even with an
Well,
educated guess, you still
remember,
can be
Jazzy,
wrong.
we had to graduate from belief. We just didn't jump in the goddamn knowing. It's not that
Mm-hmm.
easy. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I don't want to delude people in thinking that, you just come from nothing. No, there's science
And
that
it's
has
not.
to be done. Thought
And it's
process
not.
has to change. And it's
And
messy.
it's yeah. And it's not saying that I won't ever make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? However, if I do, it was a learning experience. It's not something that spirit can't bring me back from.
Well, mistakes aren't, we look at them a little different. Mistakes are, I took the wrong path. I need to get on the right one because I'm trying to go a certain spot.
Or it could be just a
Mistakes can be
learning.
good because they can show you what not to do.
Right. Sometimes spirit will just go ahead and say, you know what, you needed to go through this. You need to go ahead and just like the sickness just happened. I needed to feel what it felt like to be sick. I haven't been sick since before the pandemic. How many years ago was that? That's
Before the
what?
pandemic, that's about
Yeah.
since I've been sick. That's about since the last, but before I didn't get sick all through the pandemic. Nothing.
No, no, me either. It was before.
No, I may have
I
had
re-
a, no, I did get sick. I remember I had slept
when
out
that's
with the cover with the fan on and the temperature dropped. I had a
mm.
24-hour thing. It wasn't a cold though, but it was a 24-hour like virus.
So what was that? 20 when it was 20 or 19? COVID-19.
That was a
So it
while
was like
ago.
it was 20 when it came out. It's 25. So about 5, 6, almost 6 years. So yeah. So the whole thing is I'm not invincible. And that's probably what the spirit is just like, it's good to be thankful. You know what I'm saying? And I am thankful that I haven't been, because that shit right there, it was the worst. And I was just
Mm.
like, man, this is the worst, But the thing about it, all I could do is just like wait my time and wait for it to pass through. That's all I could do. Because in the end, it all works out the way it's supposed to. So
But
that's what I'm saying.
we all
The
know
thing
that
is,
everything happens for a reason. So now, like you said, as soon as I can start thinking again, my whole point was, wow, why did that happen?
right. But the thing is, what I'm just saying is just like, you know, it's not that spirit won't allow things to happen to you because it will. You're still human. You know what I'm saying? It's still things that we have to go through. It's just to go ahead and put you, like you said, on the path where you need to be and to learn. I mean, you can't just have everything the way that it's supposed to be, or you'll never advance. You know what I'm saying? There has to be some pain, some struggle. There has to be some strife, because we're living the human experience. Even though we're a spirit, you know what I'm saying? We're living it, inside a body, and we're in a world and not of it. However, you still have to go through the human part of certain things. You have to still experience. You're not going to be exempt from everything.
Well,
You're
that's the
protected.
whole power of going through
You're
it.
protected. You're protected.
Right. It's the
You know,
struggle.
right.
Without it, you
Eh,
can't. I mean, without that pressure, you can't make coal in the diamond. Won't
right.
happen.
Right. Right. So
That's what
that's the
we
good
are.
thing.
We're condensed cosmic dust.
Hmm. So
That darkness out there.
that's what I think will happen with him, is that he just got too arrogant, too cocky, and then the thing is just
And
like it.
that arrogance and cockiness is what I was talking about in the beginning, where I said that's the sickness.
Mm,
He can't even think the way he thought before. He can't
mm,
feel the way he felt before.
hmm
He's a total different creature from where the spirit was trying to get him to go because he got sick. Sick of him. What he gets sick with? Himself, his
hmm
ego, his pride, his
hmm
wantingness.
hmm bragging
You see
about
what I'm
his
saying?
house, and I
And
got
when
a
you,
I got a semi uh 50,000 square foot home, and
right,
this, I got that. You know what I'm
I
saying? I
got
don't
this.
do
I'm on
this.
vacations and I'm here. I'm there. I'm doing this. Look at my beautiful wife. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Man, I got it made. I'm good.
Yeah. So that's always
Made him
never
sick.
good. Yeah. It's always good to be humble. And that's why I said, outside of book smart, the whole thing about it, you just need to be spiritually smart. Because the whole thing is that, you know what, the thing is that no matter what we're going through, we knowing that, in the end, we're gonna win. You know what I'm saying? That everything always works out the way it's supposed to. And that's what I try to. People are like, oh, I was like, you not worried about? I was like, you know what? I I try not to go ahead and put too much thought into about worrying. You know, it's just that you continue to go on with your life. You continue to go.
Never.
Excuse me. You continue to go. You continue to go on with your life. Huh?
Go ahead.
You continue to go on with your life. You know what I'm saying? And do as spirit is guiding you to do, and then in due time things will happen the way it's supposed to. All you can do is just be patient, walk in the will, and stay steadfast. The thing is, not lose focus on the prize. You know what I'm saying? Not lose focus on the faith. That you have. That you're building evidence, because what's happening, whatever you're going through, you're building evidence. So you'll be able to go ahead and tell somebody else, hey,
Right.
this is. You see what I'm saying? If you don't never go through nothing, then you can't tell nobody nothing. I don't care what kind of degrees you got. You can
You
go
can
ahead and
only
be
tell them
the
what you read out of that book.
look, yeah. But if you ain't got no true experience, when I could say, look, man, I've been here. This is exactly what happened to me. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather somebody tell me that than to go ahead and you telling me, from different chapters of what this is the way it's been written by so many people, this, that, or whatever. No. What was your true experience when you went through, and how was your outcome? You know what I'm saying? You're the living witness. And that's the whole thing about why we're the light, is because the whole thing is there's something that I've been through, there's something that you've been through that we can share with the world.
Facts.
I know that to be true. I know that to be true. So many people inbox, and so many people's like, hey, I listened to all 3 or 4 hours, this, that, or whatever. It's like, it's so good. And I'm like, I'm thankful. I don't care if if it's 20, if it's five, if it's 5,000. If we got across to somebody, and somebody can go ahead and say, you know what, you inspired me to go ahead and walk the path and not to look back.
Right.
And if that's all that I really care about. Even as far as us we talking about how we was sick. You know what I'm saying? So, the next time you hear us, we talking about, you know what, we're well.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing about speaking. And matter of fact, that's the whole
But
thing.
the
That's what.
thing of it is, you can't be afraid to say you were sick.
Right.
You
Right.
see what I'm saying? You're not gonna sit
Right.
there and be, oh, I'm God, I'm this, I'm all that. No, bro, I get sick like
Right.
everybody else. Boom. There's certain things
Right.
I may not get sick a lot,
Right. Right.
and when I do get sick, I look into the lesson.
Right.
Why? Because I don't want to get sick again.
Right. Right.
Now, if it's a
That's
spiritual lesson and I must get sick for spiritual reasons, there's not much you can do. But if
right.
it's a lesson because I'm eating wrong or not drinking enough fluids or some of that nature, now I know I can correct that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the whole thing. You don't want spiritual chastisement
Right.
when you
And
know that you're
normally
supposed to
that
be doing
comes
something.
when you're saying one thing and doing something else.
Doing that part. That part right there. That part, bro. Look, we've been on here for a long time, bro.
Yeah. All right, player. I'm
Hey,
gonna be back on
we're
tomorrow, one
okay.
o'clock. We're going
All
over
right.
we're gonna start up with the Sun's universe tomorrow in
Okay.
the book of Enoch. If you missed the one today, the last chapter or two was fire. It
Okay.
condensed all the first 17 of them into
He's
that
probably
last
gay.
16 to that last 17 and 18. But
He
once again, that's
probably was able to get a
science.
lot done without me on the phone.
No, it isn't even that. I mean, you have thoughts. Sometimes other people have thoughts. So you can manifest things that I can't because I'm in the book.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But most of the stuff that I was talking about today was beyond what most people ever get. It's more of a just might as well listen because
Hmm.
it's that high joint letting you know this is where you go. This is what's happening. You can go here, in the house of many mansions. There's no such thing as death, no matter what happens. I'm gonna just recycle, come back up, everybody. Or you move on because you've graduated. I mean,
Yeah.
no such thing as death. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Mm.
Death is surrounded by life.
That
So once
sickness
you
almost
die,
made
you
you
have
feel
nowhere
like
to
it was.
go but back to life. No, listen, once you die, you have nowhere to go but back to life.
Hmm.
Death is surrounded by life. That's what I just said.
Back,
Life.
back
Yeah.
to life. Back
Back
to
to
reality.
reality. All right, people. Hey, Jazzy, give me some parting words, brother.
Hey, I want to say, you know what? I'm going to speak the word. I am
Speak
healed.
it. I
I am healed.
am healed.
And
Heal each
we're gonna
cell, each red
we'll
blood
see.
cell, each blue cell, heal them all.
You got it. You got it. And we'll
Start on a
see y'all
molecular level. Go ahead.
tomorrow. And we'll see y'all tomorrow, 1:00.
1 o'clock tomorrow. Same bad channel, same bad
Same
time.
bat time.
We're going over this book of Enoch. Next, soon we're going to start going over of the Metal Netter. I can't take it anymore. Jazzy's making
That
me do this. He's making me.
yeah.
He's killing
I'm
me.
ready to get. I'm ready. You can just start now. We can just
Really,
start now.
be honest with you, you're not going to learn much more from the book of Enoch because now it basically gets even deeper and deeper into the science of it. Most people can just fathom the Father's universe and how we're connected to other things. So we might even start that tomorrow. The Metu Netter,
Hey.
Volume 1. Please go get your books. Go get your books.
I have mine cracked open and ready.
Oh, because the Netu Netter about to break it all down. All you
Let's
Christians,
do it.
all you Bible told Quran toters. Oh, Netu Netter. Now I'm gonna show you where you got your science from. How it
Let's
all
do it.
supposed to be. African spiritual science. How it broke
Let's
down into religion.
let's do
So
this. I'm
Metal
ready.
Netter will be tomorrow. We're gonna take a quick pivot into the 2025. We got 2025. What? 2 is wisdom, 0 is cipher, 5 is
This like the year of 9. It's like
5 is
9 year.
what is it? Equality, Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, wisdom and culture, power and refine, power and refine. That's fine.
It's the
No,
it's
that ain't-
9, right?
no, 9 is cipher. You're in a
No, I'm
cipher of
saying that
knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
that's what the year will be, 9, right?
Oh, if you add it all up, yeah.
Okay.
But we're gonna be on that metal netter tomorrow. Back. Mental, jazzy. All right, player.
All right. Peace, bro.
Peace.